Is Bronzebeard worth playing 2 weeks later? Brother, I knew the answer to that after 1 day. But let's hear what this guy has to say.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Double T Gaming. Hope everyone is having a great day today. And on this day, we're going to do a little recap of the first 2 weeks of Bronzebeard launch. As of right now, we're just about at that 2-week mark and perhaps answering the question if it's worth to play on this server at all. But first, if you have not already, hit the like button and sub to the channel. I cover everything Classic Plus, whether it be Turtle, Bronzebeard, Epoch, or anything Blizzard might have cooking up, or anything Blizzard lawsuit related.
Bro, you literally log in and the first thing you see is 3 pop-ups. That is wild. That is wild beyond imagination. That is actually insane.
Also, hit that notification bell to get a message when I do go live on stream. I've been streaming the entirety of my Bronzebeard journey, and it has been a lot of fun. And finally, one last self-plug, join the Discord. That is linked in the description. It's an easy place for us to chat about anything Classic Plus or anything WoW in general. And I'll be doing a giveaway when we do hit the 10k sub mark on that Discord, hopefully by the end of the year.
You know what? It doesn't matter which server you're playing. It's so fun, and it literally just fills my heart with joy seeing so many people in like the starting zone. It just fills me. It makes me do it. It revitalizes me. I don't feel old anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I feel old all the time. But you know, this actually brings me to life. I love seeing this. Doesn't matter the server, honestly.
But anyway,
as long as people are having fun.
Bronzebeard in these first almost 2 weeks. Real quick, I've seen a lot of folks saying that I am being paid to talk about these servers. I am not at all. I think legally.
Oh my god, people have told me that. That is the funniest thing. And my channel isn't even monetized yet, which is the most hilarious thing ever. Like, people literally think you're being paid just because you have fun on a certain server. That is wild. That is absolutely wild. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's one of the things you have to deal with.
I do have to let you guys know that I am being paid, or it's a hashtag ad. But Ascension doesn't know me, Turtle doesn't know me.
Oh wait,
I'm just rehashing my experiences from these servers. Honestly, I wish I was getting paid. Dutch, my DMs are open. But yeah, no, I'm not sponsored at all by this. But anyway, again, I'll start with my journey personally. And straight out, I will say that I've been having a blast on Bronzebeard. From that very first day of launch, where we had nearly 600 viewers on stream watching on launch day, to even now. Every gaming session and every stream has been fun for me. I've been lucky enough to never actually have to sit in a queue to get into the server, even on launch day. So I've been on Bronzebeard the entire time, not on Malfurion.
Yeah, queue times were fantastic. I mean, only the first day I had like 1 hour queue, but that was pretty much it. After that, it was smooth sailing. So I'll give them kudos for that. The server maintenance was completely fine, as far as I've seen.
Am I a little envious of Malfurion? Yeah, probably a little bit. Population control is probably so much better over there, and 90% of the time that Bronzebeard goes down, I see Malfurion just kind of sitting pretty.
Brother, you play with your chat in the middle? What, are you insane? Holy, with the stuff that people write there, you're gonna get permabanned in like 1 second if you're actually streaming.
In the corner online without any issues. And I know about the transfers from Bronzebeard to Malfurion, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But again, for me personally, it's just been a lot of fun. I rolled probably the rarest class and race combination that you'll see in all of Bronzebeard. I'm a male human paladin. Now the reason I did this is because Bronzebeard is based on the Wrath class framework. And Paladins and Wrath of Lich King, especially Prot Paladins, when they got their full kit, is some of the most fun I've ever had in WoW.
They were cracked. That is the reason. Not because they were fun, they were absolutely cracked and fun.
Wow. I played a Paladin in Wrath Classic. I had a little
I almost rolled Paladin myself.
Vanilla Wrath back in the day, and personally, I like the aesthetic of the Paladin the most of any class. Just a holy warrior of the light, fighting demons and undead and all that good stuff. And also, Tales of the Past is my favorite WoW machinima. Damn. Shout out to Blazer and the Ashbringer and the entire Tier 2 Paladin set. It just looks so sick. But what have I been doing on my journey? Well, right now, I am only level 38 on Bronzebeard. So I've been taking...
You're playing 2 weeks and you're only level 38, brother. You can literally stay in the starting zone and like literally level 10 in 1 hour. Like, that's it.
Taking it pretty slow. Honestly, almost too slow.
Okay,
I've been trying to kick it up a notch and leveling. But for me personally, I don't have as much time anymore as I used to game in general between my normal day job, toddler, family, and friends.
No! Oh, no, don't say it. Oh, don't say it. Real life. Oh, responsibilities. Oh my god, I almost died there. Jesus, man, you need to be careful. Don't remind me of this stuff.
Still do hang out with. Back in my prime gaming days, I would have no life this server over an entire weekend period and would have been 60 for sure within the first 5 days or so.
As
but
God
that
intended.
Just isn't me anymore, unfortunately. And I do miss being able to do that, but to be honest, I am a lot happier where I'm at in life right now in general, so I wouldn't give up any of what I have at all just to be able to level more in a game. But
Mad respect to you, brother. Mad respect. That is a fantastic way to actually enjoy your life. That is super respectable. Nothing but respect.
Anyway, we do have our own
great.
guild on the server. It is called Guardians of Ascension. We made this on launch day on stream. Free invitation to anyone who would like to join. If you see any of us online or see me live on stream, shoot me a whisper. Welcome to join, of course. We have our own Discord and all that good stuff. We hopefully plan on doing some flex rating in the future. Not sure of the actual time yet we'll be doing that, but I would like to be 60 by the time Zolgro comes out later this month. But along the way, I have made a ton of friends, had a ton of different conversation, and had a ton of fun doing this PvP stuff. Even had my first incident of being stream sniped by the same guy multiple days in a row, so that was a fun experience. But I've explored different areas and found different world forged items that I never would have looked for if there wasn't this immersive feature in the game. And I've met a ton of viewers along the way who just whispered me out of the blue in passing, saying that they watch my videos and appreciate the content, which honestly, you know, makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside whenever I do get that type of whisper. All in all, the journey itself for me personally has been some of the best times I've had in WoW in years, and I'm looking forward to continuing it with you all. Now, enough of me glazing the server from my own perspective. Let's go in the other direction and talk about some things that I really don't like or have been annoying in general. One is the server stability overall. Now, I'm not going to complain about this too much because I understand that it is a private server and numbers are trying to even out in general, and to support this many players on one server without issues is an impossible task. But it doesn't really change the fact that the stability of the realm itself has been an issue, and I think a lot of folks are kind of getting frustrated by it. Me personally, I think I'm kind of indifferent about it. I accept the fact that, again, this is a private server, so I know that there will be issues, but I also do get, you know, I don't think frustrated is the right word, more so like disappointed when there is a disconnect in the middle of playing. And because of these disconnects, and real quick, I mainly play during the day, EST, which translates to prime time for the server in EU time, but I've been avoiding dungeons kind of as much as I can. I've ran them here and there, but I would say that maybe out of the 10 dungeons that I've run in total, I've completed maybe about 6 out of 10.
That's interesting. I mean, if you diss in the middle of the dungeon, I think you can still come back and everything like fine. Maybe you died, but that's pretty much it. Unless I'm mistaken. I personally, from my experience, I haven't got a single DC or anything. The server's very stable, but I did play during daytime, so maybe peak hours it's like completely different.
The other 4 having a disconnect in the middle of it. And when people do get back online,
also, brother, please have a macro for bubbling and heartstoning. Like, don't do this like one by one. This is so slow.
And they just leave.
He's gonna get caught.
Don't come back online at all, and you can't requeue for a dungeon while someone's DC'd.
Yeah, he won't be able to be in time.
Group in general.
Yeah.
The actual
See, I told you. Like, I literally told you.
Actual queues themselves are quick. Even if you are DPS, you'll get into a group within like 5 minutes of being queued. But even with that, it's still a 50-50 shot, I think, during those prime hours if you actually finish the dungeon. If Zolgrub and other raids do come out, and there is still this issue with disconnecting, it's gonna be incredibly hard to have a clean clear of anything because you're really having to play against a server to actually get the raid done. Now, I am fully confident that Dutch and the Ascension team will get this under control because the Ascension devs are the best in the business when it comes to private servers, in my opinion. But
no, brother, Turtle WoW exists. I'm sorry. Like, that is a false statement. All the Ascension players, come at me.
But if things are still this unstable,
man, there's no one who's better at rage baiting Ascension players than I am. I truly have taken the mantle of rage baiting every single Ascension player. And to be honest, guys, like I truly have not any issue with you. Like, if you love Ascension, I think that's great. But you know what? It's just funny. I just find it funny.
During prime hours, they probably need to push CG and raid releases back until they can get it taken care of, or there's going to be a lot more frustration from the player base. And I do know that they are aware of it. Just the other day, they announced transfers from Bronzebeard to Malfurion are going to be available soon to try and even out the population a bit. Now, I would rather have 2 medium pop servers than 1 high pop unstable one and 1 low pop one like we do have now. But I have seen the comments on some of my videos here recently, notably the new truth about Bronzebeard video, which kind of blew up a little bit for me, about me ignoring the stability of the server. Trust me, I am not ignoring it, but I also don't think it's a problem that's going to last throughout the lifespan of the server or down the line in a couple months. But it has been pretty prevalent in these first 2 weeks, as expected. The next thing I want to touch on real quick that I did also mention in the new truth about Bronzebeard video is the dungeon and item scaling. I don't like these features at all. I understand that dungeons—
oh, mad respect. Mad respect. Holy. Okay, great. Great video. I mean, dude, thankfully. Okay, let's hear what he has to say
Scaling helps
first.
with queues in general, so it's an instant queue and doesn't try to match you with just those in your level range. But being a level 15 in Ultimate or a level 50 in Wailing Caverns is just kind of weird and awkward to me. I've never liked dungeon scaling at all in any version of WoW, and I've also never liked item scaling. I feel like item scaling cheapens getting a good loot in general. Like take the quest for RFD, for example, to get Vanquisher Sword. You can accept this quest at level like 15, and you get a scaled down version of Vanquisher Sword as a reward. But then you can wait until 20 and you get a better version of the sword, or wait until 30 or 40 or 50. And I just think it kind of cheapens gearing gains in general, especially when it comes to dungeon loot. Now I can't find the footage of this, for example, but at level 17 I got Smite's hammer out of a cache and it was scaled down to level 17 so I could use it immediately. But then I ran Dead Mines level 18, Smite's hammer dropped, and instantly it was better than my Smite's hammer I'd equipped, so I used that instead. So
Exactly. Imagine defending this. Like, this is what it probably bugs me the most. How can you defend level scaling in an MMO? The whole point is that you're supposed to get stronger. When everything scales with you, you don't feel like you're getting stronger. Everything just kind of remains stagnant. Or static, should I say. This is so dumb. I never liked this idea of everything scales with you and you can take everything to the late game. That is dumb. Like, oh, you need to waste resources to do so. Who cares? Who cares? You get resources like that in Ascension. It doesn't matter. Like, nobody cares. Items shouldn't scale. An item should be an item. You should look at something and know what it does. It's just weird. Like, that is just cheapens everything and it makes everything worth, like, a lot less. And then once the items have no value, you can't get attached to them. You can't get attached to your character. And this just sucks. It completely breaks immersion.
I had 2 different versions of Smite's hammer in my bags ready to go. I just find that a little bit awkward in my opinion, and I've had some other folks hop in the stream and kind of say the same thing about item scaling. I don't mind the level scaling portion of the server, but I don't like the dungeon item scaling portion.
Really? The level scaling? I mean, I would have argued even the level scaling is worse because you want to feel like you're getting stronger. You want to go to that area where you were previously and suddenly from struggling, you're just busting people asses. Like, that's what you want to do. That is the fun part. So you struggle in a certain zone, then you come back to the zone once you're like geared up from dungeons or quests, whatever, and then you just start clapping. Like, this is the most fun thing about MMOs, to see how you progress and how further you've come. Like, that is, for me at least, the most fun aspect of it.
And I will die on that hill. Speaking of the level scaling, yeah, I'm totally okay with this in the first couple of weeks. I honestly don't really notice it, especially while I'm leveling. It gives you the opportunities to go back and do zones that would have become obsolete for you entirely, or just save some easier.
So open another character. I mean, you don't have to do everything on one character. The whole principle of classic WoW is that sometimes you miss things, but for the most part, you can just open a different character and experience everything from a different perspective. So for example, if you choose an alliance character, you can do all of the alliance zones, and then you can pick up a horde character and hit the zones you haven't done already. So for example, on my first character, I was alliance, night elf, and I didn't do Ashen Veil actually. So once I hit 60, I opened an ult, warrior, of course, which was most fun. And I actually hit up Ashen Veil because I didn't do that. So this, for me, made the leveling much more enticing because now I get to experience leveling in a completely different way. So I don't have to go through the same process over and over again. I actually get a new experience, even though I leveled up to max level already, which is 60. So this, for me, is the fun part. I think that this is great. You don't need to do everything on one character.
Zones at a higher level if you are in a weird spot in between levels. Level scaling just makes it so the mobs will never turn gray to you. They'll only be green, so just about 4 levels below you. And you can still tear through these mobs pretty easily, or at least I could as a red paladin, but I think paladins are a little bit overtuned right now.
No, the mobs are just garbage and you're overpowered. Not your class, like every class. I played a warrior and I smashed. It's not like classic at all, it's retail pace.
The PvP on the server, I don't have a problem with it. For me personally, I am either on high risk or I am in PvE mode. I don't really hang out in war mode at all because I think it kind of lowers the fun a little bit. Have I been murked in PvP? Oh yeah, for sure. I've definitely died more in PvP than I've killed folks on the other end. Does that make it any less fun? No, not at all. I'm still having a blast with it despite, stream sniping or despite getting 4v1 by Horde and STV. I still think it's a lot of fun. Dutch did say the other day that they were going to go back to the idea of separating PvE and PvP layers to hopefully help with performance. I guess that just isn't in the game yet because after this announcement, I'm still seeing people who are in PvE mode while I'm in high risk or vice versa. But mercenary mode is also really fun. I haven't haven't played as a mercenary myself too much, but I have killed a few of them and just kind of called them a traitor or whatever and just moved on. PvP might not be balanced at all right now, but usually the most unbalanced PvP is the most fun type of PvP.
Jesus Christ, dude, look how fast they are. Oh my god, what in God's name is that? They're like light speed pace.
PvP in WoW, in my opinion. Of course, there is still the cash shop.
Oh man,
he
murked himself.
As of right now, the time of this recording, the experience aura and the experience potion are still not available on the server, so everyone is leveling
yeah, you only have like 10 ward buffs that gives you the exact same thing. True, brother.
Normally, but there are tons of other convenience items available to buy. And even bazaar tokens available that lets you do these callboard quests instantly, which then rewards you a high level cash that can get you fully epicked out in heroic.
What? Wait, what?
Dungeon gear in a matter of minutes, so they're...
Oh my god, I didn't even know about that. Oh my, holy, are you kidding? Wait, Ascension is pay to win? I actually don't know that because I played only to level 10 and I seen enough and I quit. But is Ascension pay to win? If someone played Ascension, like, let me know. I actually did not know that. That is new information for me. I did not know that at all. Dude, if this server is pay to win, holy, I have no idea how people actually come to my chat and defend against this. Like, this is crazy.
Is that. But to be fair, these callboard profession quests are also pretty easily done without bazaar tokens at all. Like yesterday, I had one just to bring in 5 pairs of linen pants. They're about 20 silver each on the auction house.
This is so garbage. Oh my god, I can't even look at the screen. Why would you put this weird cringy-ass quest in here? This is so weird. Holy, this shouldn't be in the game. Ascension tokens, bro. Ascension tokens are cringe. Just let me play the game as it was intended. And I mean, do change the stuff that you feel like you need to change, but stop putting all these weird currencies and caches and all those weird stuff. Like, there are a lot of things that I love about Ascension, like the creature RPG overhaul, the fact that you can see a creature and he's actually wearing what you're seeing. I think that this is amazing and actually revolutionary. I think that this was genius, and I love this so very much. And I mean, there's also like the immersive loot drops, of course, all of these things, the end game stuff, some of the end game stuff, the mystic enchantments was really cool. So there are a lot of good things going in Ascension, but it just feels so bad when you really can't love the game when all of these weird things exist, like the hero calls board, all the stuff, the Ascension tokens, the caches. I don't like any of that. So all of these weird currencies, they gotta go. In my opinion, at least.
And I did that like 10 times in a row and now have 10 caches sitting in my bank waiting for me to hit 60 to open. And at 60, more quests will open up on the call board to give you more opportunities to just go to a single zone, do some normal quests, rather than gather quests that could cost you actual.
But why are you forcing me to do stuff? Just put quests in a game, let me take them and let me do whatever I want. Dude, let me be free. I don't want to do these things. Oh, you don't have to do that. Yeah, but you get such an amazing rewards. Why the hell would you cripple yourself? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Gold if you buy the materials raw from the auction house. So just a quick tip, if you are still leveling, still check the callboard profession tab and get the cheapest ones done if you have the gold to spare. You'll get geared up quick when you do hit 60. But more and more every day I am seeing folks who do have a 60 and are leveling at alt in full heirloom, so just speeding past me and leveling, which does make me feel worse about myself every time I do see it. But I'm not sure when the experience aura or potion will be available, but you know, oh guys, please don't be in my group with an experience aura. Please don't help me level faster. Haha, that would be so awful. But yeah, those are just kind of things I've noticed in the first 2 weeks of Bronzebeard. I am personally having a ton of fun taking my time leveling, getting into some random PvP fights, meeting everyone in game who watches the channel and streaming the whole journey. But I still am not a fan of the dungeon leveling or the scaling. Stability at times can get pretty annoying, and gearing at 60 is super easy, it looks like, if you take advantage of the call board early. But I did unfortunately miss the World Force Cetus World Boss kill, which I heard was just a massive lag PvP fest, and that took over an hour to kill. And I also will miss Azurgos as well. But hopefully by the time the next run of releases in a couple of weeks where world bosses are out, I'll be a bit higher of a level, so I can at least still head over to those bosses and see how it is, especially the one that's going to be spawning in Darkshore. Now the question is it worth it for you to play on Bronzebeard? Well, if you're worried that you'll be behind if you start now rather than 2 weeks ago, don't be. There are no raids available yet on the server at all. And even when there are available, we won't see the next raid releases probably for another month, with the first raid just being ZG, which is kind of like a catch-up type beginner raid almost. So there is plenty of time for you to hit 60. The combat in general on Bronzebeard, like I've said in the past, is a lot closer to Cataclysm rather than the actual vanilla. So it's a lot faster paced combat. Yes, you do kill stuff a lot faster, you have more buttons to press. But mobs also hit a lot harder and can kill you pretty fast too if you
No, they're not. No, they're not. This is a whole blatant lie. They do not. You cannot die. You literally a god. You are a literal god in Ascension. You cannot die. And believe me, I tried. I think it was level 6 and I accidentally pulled 3 mobs. I smashed all of them. As a warrior. This should be in Classic a death sentence. But no, in here you can do whatever you want.
Overpull or just aren't careful. And plus, eventually there will be those experience options on the shop to help you catch up in leveling in general, so there's plenty of time to do what you need to do and not feel like you're missing out if you miss a day or two. I have people in my guild who stopped around level 30, but they keep showing up on stream saying they're just waiting for the experience spots to be available, and I totally get it. But if you do want to try Bronzebeard, whether it be because of the gameplay you're seeing has seemed interesting to you, or you just want to experience some of the things that I've talked about, just make sure you go into it with a mindset that this isn't your typical classic vanilla server. You're playing a more recent style version of WoW. Again, not up to retail level, but at the same time, not at the same...
It is 100% retail level. 110% retail level. If you go into the thinking this is classic, you are a fool. And I've made like so many videos about that, and by so many I mean literally 2, but come on, this is not classic. If you think that this is somehow classic, you're fooling yourself. This is literally retail and nothing else.
Pace of vanilla at all. But overall, yes, I think it's worth it for everyone to at least give Bronzebeard a try, at least for those first 10 to 15 levels, based on what I've seen in these first 2.
Agreed. 100% agreed. You should always give something a good try. I always advocate for that. So even if you watch this video and you think that I'm being right, I will always say to you, go and try this server for yourself, because you might be surprised. These systems, even though I don't personally like them, you maybe will. So you don't know that. You should always give it a go. Again, personally for me, not my thing. But you should try it. If you like World of Warcraft and, I mean, you want to try it, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not advocating for, like, private servers or anything like that. I still think that you should play retail. I honestly think that retail is better than this server. But, again, just my opinion. But, hey, I mean, if you want to try.
Weeks. You'll get your mount early on at level 5 and be able to run around the revamped starting areas quick and get a real taste of the World Forge and immersive type items that are available. You'll see the new Mystic enchantment system that are basically like an updated version of runes from Sod or a more powerful glyph system from Wrath. You can get into high risk PvP or mercenary mode at level 15, where you'll drop a chest with some of your items in it if you do die, or get that zone wide alert that there is a mercenary nearby, so you just have to watch out before you get jumped by your own faction. For me, the server hits just the right spot of a faster classic experience, faster mobility overall, so being able to just get around faster than you could in vanilla, with those perfect moments of high risk world PvP that kind of gets the blood flowing a little bit and puts a bit more fear into losing something in your bags. And plus, the game is entirely free. You don't need to use your credit card at all for this server, and you can still enjoy your time. These first couple weeks have been a lot of fun for me. Of course, it has not...
Well, you don't have to use your credit card, but it sure does help.
Not been perfect, but nothing ever is. But let me know how your guys' first couple weeks on Bronzebeard has been, or if you've kind of moved on from the server in general or are waiting for something else. But don't forget to hit that like button, sub to the channel for everything Classic Plus, and join the Discord as well. And I am open to any other videos.
He told him no honor. This is what you get. Bro thought it was Dark Souls PvP.
Suggestions regarding Bronzebeard, Turtle Epoch, or anything Classic Plus or Blizzard related. But thank you guys for watching. This is Double T Gaming. This was another one of those kind of long, ranty discussion type videos. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Great video. Great video. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you guys can watch it for yourself and give this guy a like. This was actually a fair and balanced opinion. I didn't agree with everything he said. Obviously, I already spoke my piece. But just in general, I will remind you, the thing that made Classic Classic is the slow pace. And the fact that some of you guys, not you, who watch me constantly, but some of you that comment and, give me a lot of flack for what I'm saying about Ascension, you need to understand, the thing that cemented Classic as being Classic is the slow pace. And if we don't have that, then this is not really Classic. Everything happens so fast in Ascension, and this is probably what have turned me off the most, because I did expect I did want to reach the late game, because raiding did seem kind of fun. Now, unfortunately, they have, I believe, 4 difficulty levels for raids, because, again, they're retail players. The developers are clearly not Classic enjoyers. They clearly love retail. But even in retail, it's not that bad. I mean, this is just honestly funny. So even in retail nowadays, they are cutting more and more unnecessary systems, and it's just unfortunate to see Ascension keeps adding more of them. So hopefully, if Ascension want to grow and prosper, I really hope they would look and see what makes Classic classic. Or if they want to keep this game, just call it retail, because this is what it is. It is not classic. This is retail plus. This is not classic plus. But yeah, I mean, great video. So once again, I'm going to leave you guys a link in the description so you can watch it for yourself, give it a like. But make sure to let me know in the comment section, what did you think? And that's pretty much all for today's video. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.